Hello, everybody. Welcome to my first ever live. I'm just going to wait for a few people to come on, as this is what usual people do. The sun's right on me, man. Look at this. I didn't realize the light was going to be so bad. My bad. Anyways, can you please let me know if you can hear me? Whoever's in the hello to my first, the first person in the chat room. Can you please let me know if you can hear me? Whoever you are, please reveal yourself. Just trying to sort my mic out here. I've got a proper basic little setup here, folks. Am I going to be better off going the other side of the car? Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to have a little scoot around here. Right, there's two people on. Bear with me. I'm just going to go to the other side of the car here because the sun's not going to be on me and it's going to be way easier. Bear with me 1 second, folks. 1 second. 1 seconder. 1 seconder. I've got a very basic setup here. I'm in the back of my car and all sorts. It's all going a bit Pete Tong already. But hey ho, give us a sec. Give me 1 second. And then you might see me a little bit easier, I think. Let's have a look. How's that? It's a little bit better, isn't it? I'm not as hot now either. Let me just get myself sorted, man. Sorry for being so unprepared, folks. Sorry for being so unprepared. I've been rushing my little butt off to get here, actually, to be honest. Anyways, hello, Sandy V from California. You can hear me. Perfecto. That's perfect. I've just got my laptop on this little table thing and it keeps sliding off, like so it's all a bit trial and error, this. So yeah, hello, Sandy. Nice to see you joining me today amongst the other 5 people. Oof. We're rolling, folks. We're rolling. I just need to get myself set up a little bit while we're letting some people come on. I hope you're all good. Anyways, have you all had a good day? How's your day been, Sandy? What have you been up to today? Keep me entertained while I'm trying to reorganize myself here for 1 sec. I'm just trying to really, I just got all that sorted and then realized I didn't look great on the camera. So anyways, there we go. Take my time. I can stay on as long as my laptop allows me to without charge, which should be, I think YouTube only allows you to do an hour anyway, I think. So hello, James R97 and Pam from Florida. Wow, I didn't realize I reached so many people in the US, to be honest with you. Like, welcome from the US. Thank you for being with me. That's amazing. My day's been great, James. Very nice. I've actually spent some time with my family today. I'm heading off to London tomorrow, ready for a flight on Sunday to somewhere I shall reveal towards the end of this live, if you can wait that long with me. Anyway, James, where are you from, bud? Whereabouts are you? Yeah, I've just been spending time with my family basically today, and hence me rushing around a little bit. I left this till last minute, and I'm trying to pack for my little trip in a couple of days. So anyways, wow, 9 people with me. Come on, folks, come on. Give me a like as well. Give it a like. I hate asking for this kind of stuff, but people do, and they say it helps with the algorithm. And we're going to come on to bloody YouTube anyway. We're going to come on to, that's one of the reasons I took a little break, to be honest with you. We're going to get onto that in a minute. But you're in Flintshire, James. Nice. I used to work in Harden. Which is not far from there. I used to work with some people from Flint. So I'm sure that'll be your kind of neck of the woods, I'm guessing. So, but yes. Anyways, folks, I'll begin by apologizing to my regular viewers anyway to begin with. I sincerely apologize for not posting for the last month or so. It's terrible, eh? Terrible. I haven't slipped like this for a long time. I've been posting regularly for quite a few months now. And yeah, I just had a little moment of just kind of, I don't know, like writer's block, I guess. It's not like writer's block. It was just, I just wanted a break from making videos. Do you know what I mean? It was just, it does get a bit demanding when you start doing them all of the time. Let me just read this message. I'm from Harden. You're Harden, mate. There you go. Well, I used to work, I can't remember the name of the road, but it was up a very nice little country road. It was in a home when I was doing my care work. It's where I first started my care my care career actually in Harden. That's where I first worked for 3.5 years in a care home there, and I've just ended my 13-year career to focus on other things. So but let's see how that goes. It's yeah, cheers, Pam, thanks. And what I'm going to say is, to begin with as well, is it's quite hard to kind of keep a conversation going and looking at and the messages coming through, but I'm going to do my best to try and answer the things you're talking about as well. If it comes too much, I'm going to go back to it towards the end, okay? And I'll try and go through everything. But as I'm going through, I will try and answer your messages and stuff. But I do want to kind of keep on point with my tiny little notes that I've got that I wrote about 15 minutes ago. That's how unprepared I am, folks. But I kind of know what I want to talk about anyway. Sean, hello, mate. Hello, Sean. How are you, buddy? Thanks for joining me. I will get to you one day. I promise I will get to you. We will meet. We will meet in person this year. It'll happen this year. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're okay. Pananda, the drone detector, Samai, Tinyan. How are you, boyo? I hope you're well. Where are you from? Obviously, you're from Wales somewhere. Whereabouts in Wales are you from? And I work best under pressure, or you work best. I guess that means everyone, right? Yeah, I wouldn't say pressure. It just feels weird because I don't really like talking about myself. Do you know what I mean? But then this is what this is all about. It's about talking about myself and about what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm quite introvert, to be honest with you, even though I'm kind of in front of the camera showing you guys what I do in the world and stuff. It's I'm just showing you what I do. Do you know what I mean? But in real life, I'm quite an introvert. I'm quite a quiet person sometimes, you know. So to talk about myself, I don't like it. I feel like a little bit weird, to be honest, but I feel like I need to explain to you guys why I've taken some time off. Do you know what I mean? Because I have posted regularly, and especially on YouTube, I didn't give any kind of explanation as to why I've done that. I have on Facebook and Instagram, but not everyone, you know, that is on my YouTube isn't on my Instagram and Facebook. Do you know what I mean? So I haven't been able to explain to people on YouTube, basically. Yeah, definitely, Sean. We'll definitely meet up sometime, mate. Definitely, 100%. Telling you that now. So anyways, I'll crack on. We've got 10 people. We've reached double digits, so that's good enough for me to crack on with what I want to say. All right, folks. I hope you got yourselves a little drink and everything. Or I'm on loudspeaker so you can hear me when you go to the toilet or whatever. Okay, so if you're a regular viewer, you'd have noticed that my last video was about a month ago, about 4 to 5 weeks ago, and it was the third installment of the Norway trip, which the rest is coming, folks. It's coming, definitely. I've got the other one basically ready, you know. I just need to just finalize it and stuff. But basically, we went on a trip to Austria. Had a nice little trip in Austria. I filmed all of that. It's going to be in a slightly different format, actually. I'm going to do that in a slightly different way. But that was all filmed and everything, but I didn't actually speak. You know, it's not in the normal format. It's going to be more like a kind of documentary style in a way. So I did all of that, and when I came back from there, I didn't have the feeling of wanting to make videos. You know, I just really kind of lost the urge to make videos. I guess I just kind of felt a little bit like that. So when I got back from Austria, I'd planned 3 weeks of, well, voluntary work, help exchange, I like to call it, which I'm going to come on to in a minute. Got back from Austria. I went to the Dartmoor area in the UK and spent a week with some friends there. I helped a friend do a bit of gardening and this, that, and the other, and just really enjoyed kind of not worrying about posting on social media and having to make videos, and because there's quite a bit of pressure, you know. There's quite a lot of time goes into making them, and like I say, with the algorithm with YouTube, you feel a pressure to constantly put videos out, because if you don't, you drop down in the algorithm and they don't promote your videos and stuff, you know. Like, so it's almost like having a boss basically saying you don't post, you're going down. You know, and that's one aspect I hate about YouTube, is that it's very demanding. It's very demanding. And if you're not keeping up with their demand, then they don't promote you very well. And then you have to pay, blah, 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 you know. So I've been posting very regularly. I have, you know. But yeah, like I say, I got back from Austria, wasn't really feeling it. We're staying with some friends and that kind of thing. And just really enjoyed not having to post, and I didn't really post the odd thing on Facebook and Instagram and Instagram stories. which I've been doing that regularly. I just find that quite fun because they're just up there. I can show you a bit of what I'm doing and then they just disappear. They're just like random little clips of my life. So if you're not on my Instagram, but you want to keep up to date more, if I do lag or if I do go a bit quiet on YouTube, I'll pretty much, I think, always be on Instagram stories showing bits of what I'm doing and that, you know. So if you really want to keep up to date with me, get on there, definitely. I need to keep looking at this because I'm going off track a lot. So yes, I was just really enjoying not having to do kind of doing videos and stuff. So, but I decided I'm going to keep doing them. I'm going to do them. I'm going to have a week off and that's it. Anyways, after a week of being in Dartmoor, I went on a lovely little hike up a river, the River Dart. Some of you, do you know the River Dart? Anybody in there been to the River Dart in Dartmoor? Beautiful, man, beautiful. Anyway, I got recommended this lovely little hike to some beautiful little kind of swimming areas, which I'm not that into anyway, but I just got recommended to go there by a guy called James Lavelle. Actually, he's quite a well-known guy on Instagram. So James, if you ever watch this, which I doubt you will, thanks for the heads up on that hike. But anyway, I went there, and in the intentions at the end of the hike, when I got to the pool, to do a video, to do a little chinwag video, one of my chinwag videos, you know. I got there, I sat down. My mic keeps falling down. I got there, I just wasn't feeling it. I had a little nibble to eat, I had some food, I had a little drink, and I just was just enjoying the peace and quiet, you know. And I just thought, I'm not going to bother, you know, I'm not going to bother. And I didn't. I just kind of packed my stuff up and went. Just about 10 minutes before I got home from the trip, which was about a 45-minute, it was like a half an hour walk back from the where I'd left on the river to the car, and then about a 20-minute drive home. I'd left my GoPro there, hadn't I? Well, I thought I'd lost my GoPro because it wasn't in my bag. So I drove all the way back, hiked all the way back to where I'd gone, and it wasn't there. So I was like gutted. I was like, nah. But that's basically like, to me, that's like a sign. That was a sign, you know, saying don't bother doing videos. Just don't bother, you know. I could go on about that kind of thing, about the signs that I kind of get from life and stuff as well, but that could be another YouTube live. Let's see. But anyways, so long story short, I put a post up on Facebook. Someone had found my GoPro. I went to get it back, and all is well. Really, really nice people out there that found my GoPro and got in touch, and they even brought it to me. You know, they even brought it to me in Dartmoor. So thank you very much to the person who did that. Fully appreciated. But from that moment, I thought, you know what? For this whole trip in Dartmoor, I'm just not going to post. I'm not going to post much on social media, and I'm not going to post and make any videos. I'm not going to do any editing. I'm just going to enjoy my 3 weeks that I'd planned, my voluntary or, you know, help exchange work, which I'll get onto now. And that's what I did. Do you know what I mean? I just concentrated on being there and just enjoying the experience and just being in the moment, rather than constantly worrying about, you know, editing a video daily, getting the thumbnail, blah blah blah. You know, there is a lot that goes into them, and it does take a lot of time. So I just devoted myself to my help exchange, my 3 weeks of help exchange. I went to 3 different places. So help exchange, let me explain that. Let me get onto that. Let's go on to that, shall we? I think we were going on to that anyway. Yes. So basically, help exchange, there's a website that I use called helpx.net. That's HELPX.net. I just use that. There's other ones like Workaway, I think, and Woofing. People might be familiar. Have you heard of Woofing? Anyone? Sean, you've been, but I'm in Southern. Yeah. You're more Southern Twin Dorset. Yeah, I'm sure you've been there, mate. I'm sure you've been to many places that I've been. Most of them, I'm guessing. Absolutely stunning area, mate. Absolutely beautiful. So yes, so helpx.net, it's you basically do a little bit of work in exchange for food and board, for food and accommodation. So you'll do about 4 to 5 hours per day for someone doing random things, whatever they want doing around the house or their farm or their whatever they want doing work on. And then you have the rest of the time to yourself, and they usually cook you some beautiful food, and they give you a nice room or accommodation, that whatever they've got, you know. Sometimes it's a caravan, sometimes it's a beautiful house, room in a house. Can be anything random, you know. They're all different, and that's what I love about it. It's a great experience, and that's why I like to call it a help exchange rather than voluntary work, because I'm exchanging my skills and my time and my values for their food basically, and their roof, a dwelling. I did it in New Zealand for 6 months back in 2010. Went to New Zealand with no money, actually. I went there skint, and I kind of ended up going around New Zealand for 6 months doing this. So yeah, Sandy, it is very wonderful indeed, very wonderful. I'd recommend it. Are you talking about the HelpX, by the way? Are you talking about the Help Exchange, or are you talking about Devon? Because they're both wonderful. Yes, so basically you join. I think it's about £20 US pounds, so about $23 US or something. Are you talking about Help Exchange, Sandy? Yeah, well, it is amazing. I'd recommend it. Check out the website, helpx.net. So it's like £20, and if you want things doing in your home, you can be a host as well. Do you know what I mean? It works the other way. So you can either be a helper or a helpee, someone that wants help. So yeah, so once you join, you put a profile up. I put pictures up and the skills you have basically, and if you build up a kind of profile with reviews of people's reviews of how you've been and things like that, which I've got quite a few from New Zealand still, and a couple now from the UK. Yeah, very healthy for the body, mind, and spirit. I'm going to get onto it, Sandy. Honestly, I'm going to talk about it. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. It's just been what I've needed, to be honest with you. Like, really has. So yes, you join. For me, I wanted to be a helper, so I join. I put all my details on there, and then helpers, people that want help, look for you. Basically, they look for you, or you can look for them. So, for example, where I've just been, Dartmoor area in Devon, you can use a map on the website, and you can zoom in basically onto that area, and you can see who has got like availabilities of stays and stuff like that, and then you can message them and say, are you looking for help at the moment? I've got these skills, blah blah blah. So I just picked 3 that I really liked the sound of, and all 3 accepted me, and I managed to fit in the time so that they went back to back. So I went from one for 1 week, and then went to the other, and then to the other. So you can almost, because you can use a map on the website, you can kind of see where you're going to take yourself, so you don't have to go back on yourself to go somewhere. You can just kind of make it quite simple for yourself. It's amazing, Pam, honestly. I can't recommend it enough. I should be an advocate for HelpX, but I'm not. But I had such a great time in New Zealand. I was very confident I was going to have a good time in my own country, and it's felt like I've just been traveling my own country. I've had that travel feel in my own country. So the first place I stayed was in a little place called Postbridge, which is right in the center of Dartmoor. If you want to get on Google Maps, look where Postbridge is. It's right next to another town called, I can't remember now, but it's where the huge prison is, basically in Dartmoor. It's where the huge prison is, and that's quite a strange little town. You've got the little town there, and then the prison is literally on the edge of it, like that, like over it. It's quite a weird setup, actually. But Postbridge, where I was staying, absolutely stunning. This woman lived in the middle of nowhere. She lived by herself. She had 2 dogs and a cat, and she just wanted help. Princetown, Johnny. Yes, mate. Hello, Johnny. I'm not sure who you are, Johnny B, but yes, Princetown is the one. That's the one I'm talking about. Have you been there? I went there, right? And it was really misty, and it was just very eerie. And it just looked really creepy. Do you know what I mean? It was almost like something out of a film. It really was. Maybe it's been used in films. It looked that kind of place, What I'm going to do is, if these lives are quite successful, actually, I'm going to actually invest in a program that I can use on my laptop, where I can actually put pictures up as well, so I can show you guys certain photos I've taken of places and whatever, videos and stuff. So like now I want to show you the picture that I took of the prison. Do you know what I mean? But I can't, because I'm just using the YouTube live at the minute. But stick with me, guys, and it will get better. I promise you. So yes, the first woman I stayed with was in Postbridge, on her own, in this lovely little kind of shack that she kind of extended with a big glass kind of back end on it, overlooking the Dartmoor, the Dartmoor hills. And she just had wildlife running around her house everywhere. Like, there was deer, waking up to deer in the morning, rabbits, cows, horses, and sheep just running wild on the roads and stuff. Up right on the top of Dartmoor, everything's quite wild. like the roads aren't fenced. Do you know what I mean? There's just like wildlife running across the roads. In the evenings, you had sheep. The sheep would come onto the roads to sleep because Johnny B from Bovey Tracy. All right, I've just been to Bovey Tracy. Do I know you? Did I meet you there? Did I meet you there? Please tell me, Johnny, if I met you there. If not, I'll meet you there next time, mate. I might be down in a few weeks. So if you fancy a quick jar rule, we can organise that. So yes, absolutely stunning in Postbridge. Like, and yeah, the wildlife is if you like wildlife, just go there. Basically, she was right by a beautiful forestry as well. So you'd go in there, and the deer were just running around. You know, absolutely stunning. Like, so I stayed with her. I did a lot of gardening for her. She needed helping. She couldn't bend down. She couldn't do weeding and things like that. So I helped her with her gardening. And what else did I do for her? Yeah, just helped her plant some plants. Cleaned out her little pond of all the crap that was on the top of it. I just scooped all that away and got rid of all the long stuff that was around it, and just pimped her garden basically. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I keep on looking over there for the camera, but it's there, isn't it? Sorry, folks. Anyways, yes, so she was a really, really nice woman. Beautiful dogs. I get attached to dogs easily, folks. Well, I get attached to animals basically, and the hardest thing for me sometimes is leaving the animals, and that was no different this time. Do you know what I mean? That was just one of the dogs especially. I just really got attached to him, and yeah, I miss him still. But hey ho, every place I went to had dogs anyway, as you're going to find out. So I had a really good time there with her. She was amazing. We learned some amazing. The good thing about these things as well, you learn some skills and you learn lessons off people, especially the elderly generation. They've got so many hints and tips on life and gardening and how to do this and that, and they've got all of these little tools that, I don't know, the younger generation and the middle-aged generation like myself don't tend to have as much of. Do you know what I mean? It's strange, yeah, but I love spending time with the more elderly folk. I really, really do. You know, I just find them fascinating. They've got so many stories. This woman she spent, can't remember how many years, 20 to 30 years in Ireland, built up this old derelict like building, small little building, into a beautiful dwelling, and made a goat farm, and she was making goat cheese, and she was doing other things as well. I forget where it was now, but very, very interesting, you know, like, and you know, you'd see her on the street. She's just a quiet little woman who just kind of goes about, but she's just got such a great story. And I asked her if she'd like to do a podcast, you know, and she was like, why would I want to do a podcast? Who'd be interested in my story? And I'm like, loads of people would be interested. It's so interesting. Like, so I might get onto that. I might get back onto her. And what I might do when I'm doing these help exchanges, I might start asking them if they'd like to do a podcast, because I'm meeting some very interesting people. So the second person I went to stay with was another woman. Very nice woman. She had a dog rescue center, very small, just a one-man band. She was doing it by herself. She had about 6 dogs or 7 dogs when I was there, all living in her house. So it was very, very kind of lively. There was another couple of help exes there, help exchanges from Argentina. So they were really nice. She was a great cook, so I hit it on a good time to be there, because she was just cooking all the time. She made that part of her help exchange to do the lunches and the dinners and stuff. So I was like, yes. So she made some awesome food. Like, so there I was doing more gardening. We cleared out we put some rocks around the pond. We kind of adjusted a big pond that she's got there. Played with the dogs a lot because they needed attention, which was a hard job to do, folks. I'm telling you, very hard. It's my favorite part of the job. What else did I do there? Yeah, just a lot of weeding. It's this time of the year in the UK where there's a lot of weeding, a lot of kind of things to be pulled out of the ground and dug up and stuff like that. You know, a lot of things that the more elderly folk can't do or don't enjoy doing anymore, kind of thing. So, you know, which I'm happy to do. I'm just happy to help them do whatever they want. So yeah, that was really, really interesting. That was just above Portsmouth. Yeah, very nice area, very nice. And then the third place I went to stay was a little place called Frogmore, which is just outside Dartmouth. I suppose that's the more popular. And this is just outside of Dartmoor now. This is south. It's in a place called South Hams, which is almost like a little county within Devon itself, you know. So check out South Hams. Look for Frogmore, Frogmore. Very, very nice, beautiful little place. just exactly what I like. Very small little village, little pub there, little bakery, right by the river, or it was a creek as they called it. It was a creek that eventually flowed into the ocean, into the sea. It was a few miles, like the creek was a good few miles kind of long, but absolutely stunning area. Really, really nice. And the guys I worked for there, they were a retired, well, one was a retired, one was semi-retired instrument repairers. Oh no, what was the instrument called? It's like an accordion, but it's got buttons instead of the piano bit. It's the starts with a C. Might come back to me, folks. It might come back to me. Anyways, he repairs them. Very bespoke, very bespoke. So on the side of his house, he just had his little shed. Well, just a bit separate to his house. He had his little shed with all of his cool little tools that he fixed them with, and all little bits that Palm's so interesting. Like, I can't even, you know, this live could go on for ages, and just me talking about my experiences with these people, you know, really it could. This is why I had to kind of just put social media and everything on the back burner, because I was just so focused on what was happening right there, right now, and learning so much and just living in their life. You know, it's like living someone's life for a week or however long you're there with them for. It's just like having a little step into their lives, you know. So he'd get up in the morning, he'd have his breakfast, he'd have a little cup of tea, sit there with the dogs for a bit, and then he'd take himself to his little shed. And you could hear him like tuning these little instruments and playing them just to see if they sounded right. And it was just beautiful, you know, with all the bird song around their house, and their dog, one dog called Honey. Oh my days. If I've ever connected with a dog before, it's with her. Honestly, like, I just had such fun. She was a Romanian rescue dog. And when I got to the house, they had a muzzle on her. They said she's not very good with certain people and they have to kind of be careful with them. And this, that, and the other, you know, but within 5 minutes, muzzle was off. She was kind of all over me in my room and loving me. So I was like, yes, connected proper. So they had a paddock at the top, like the house was kind of here, and they had a little paddock on a kind of bit of a bank like this, and then a flat bit at the top with a caravan. So I used to go in the paddock every morning with the dog. I'd have my breakfast, I'd run up to the paddock and give the dog a little run in there and have a little fun with her, you know. Absolutely amazing. And for them, again, I was doing gardening work, doing a bit of strimming, pulling up loads of I've pulled up about 1 million stinging nettles in the 3 weeks. I kid you not. I just wish I kept some to make some nettle tea, which my friend took some. Actually, he did take some. Anyways, I did a lot of garden for them. I also put up a picket fence. They had an old rotten picket fence, and because my skills are carpentry, I have carpentry skills. Don't tell anyone, because everyone wants a carpenter. They had like a picket fence that was overgrown with this huge rose bush. So I just chopped the rose bush back, and I just took the old picket fence down and re-erected it they bought some new panels, and then I put it up for them, and they were very happy with it, you know. So, and that was that, you know. They took me out on a Friday night. They took me to one of the local pubs, and they do music for the dancers with the bells around their feet. What are they called? Morris dancers. Sorry, what you're going to notice with me doing lives, by the way, as well, is I forget words quite often. So bear with me, and you might have to help me out in the chat if you can. So yes, they do the music for the Morris dancing. It's that kind of music, very folky, very Celtic, you know. So every now and again they meet up and they play in the street just outside of this really old pub, Tudor pub, and in Ashburton, a little place called Ashburton in Dartmoor. And then once they played for about an hour in the street, they just go into the pub and they go in the back and they all have a few beers and they all just start playing like instruments with each other and singing and like sea chanty type stuff. You know, that's the way I can describe it. All just kind of buzzing off each other. And so I had a really great experience with them. You know, I was so sad to leave them, to be honest with you. And the coastal walks around there were absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Seriously. Very nice. I don't know if anyone knows the singer Kate Bush from the 80s, maybe the 70s even. Anyways, she's got a house on the coast down there, and I walked past it. Beautiful view she's got right over the ocean and just on the high cliffs there. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to, folks. Let me just have a quick look at my little list here. Yeah, well, that's just my little promotion towards helping, you know, towards the Help Exchange. If you've just joined the chat, hello, welcome. I've just been explaining, I've just been apologizing basically for not being on here for the last few weeks, and just explaining how much I've been enjoying the help exchange that I've been doing almost voluntary work for people. So you might have to go back on this live if you want to really catch up with that. So yes, folks, absolutely amazing. Yes, Andy, I know I could definitely write a book or two. I know I could. Yeah, absolutely. I got onto YouTube quite late. I've been traveling since 2010 pretty much. I had a few years in between that, 2011 until 2014, I think it wasn't. But then from then on, I've been traveling again. So I've got a very, very big log of adventures. I haven't done too many journals, to be honest with you. I haven't written everything down, but I have taken a lot of photos and things which will remind me of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And so that's almost my journal, is my photos and videos. So Sandy, you'd buy it. Thank you very much. Well, I might do one. I did actually have an idea of writing a book, like a book of say 10 short stories, 10 little adventures that I've had, instead of one book of like one big adventure. Well, you tell me, what do you think would be better? What would you prefer? A big book, like a book of a 2-week adventure, I have a whole book on that? Or would you prefer a book of like, say, 10 little experiences or 10 little crazy little times I've had when I'm traveling? Short adventures. Okay, that's good to know, Sandy. That's very good to know. This could be my little market research, actually, yeah, because I've been wondering what people would enjoy more. I think I'd prefer enjoying short stories as well, because the idea of writing a long book, I've got a bit of a short attention span. So I think I'd struggle with a big book. It might take me a while to get one done. Sean, you reckon shorts as well, yeah? Oh, man, this is good. And Pam, shorts, great. That's brilliant. That's so good. 3 out of 3. That's really good, because that's what I was hoping to go towards. Yeah, I've got many stories that I could tell. That's why I started doing these chin wags in the beginning, because I wanted them to be about my adventures, my stories about my adventures. So I think as well as going back to like writing books, yeah, I think what I can do as well, I can talk about my adventures on these YouTube lives, and once I get the program where I can actually show you photos and videos of where I've been, then I can talk about it, and I can also show you photos and videos while we're live. Do you know what I mean? How does that sound? You tell me. What do you think about that idea as well? I know the book is a great idea, but what do you reckon about the YouTube live idea there? I've just swung at you. I try to make my life exciting, Pam. I do. Although my life is very exciting, it really is. Of course it is. I do have to what's the word? I do have to sacrifice certain things in life to live this lifestyle, I don't have a stable lifestyle as most people do. I don't have a stable home to go to every night like most people do. I don't have my lounge to go to at the end of the day. I don't have just the normal life, basically. I don't have all of that. Do you know what I mean? I don't have the comforts of knowing, that my bed's there every night, and that, but I don't mind that. That's just been normal for me for such a long time. It's just become, I find normal life now quite strange, like when I go to stay with people and I see them living their normal life. Not strange, maybe that's the wrong word, just not for me at the moment. I quite enjoy this, but it is quite not unsettling. What's the word? I'm having to pack bags all the time. I'm having to leave things, put that in, take that out. It's quite, it's got its challenges. That's what I'll say. It has its challenges, but it's very, very exciting, and that's why I do it. That's why I do it, isn't it? Because it's the excitement. I thrive off different. Variety is the spice of life. I haven't got any tattoos, but that was one tattoo I was going to get a few years back. Variety is my spice of life. What do you reckon? Shall I get the tattoo? Anyways, what are we on here? Where are we? Yeah, so that's it basically. And I've written here, explain the experiences I had on the trip, which I kind of have really, but I learned so much about staying with these people, about how, what's important kind of in life, really, taking a step back and looking at what I'm doing with mine and seeing how they live theirs, and looking at what values they've got and how they live their life, what they do to chill out, what they do to, I don't know, all sorts of things, how they do breakfast in the morning, or, I just took everything in just to like being a fly on the wall, and you learn things, you learn so much. And because you're staying with local people, they tell you about the local area. you know, oh, there's a beautiful little hike up there you should do. Not many people go. It'll be quiet this time of day. You should go up. Do you know what I mean? You get things like that. It's really, really nice. So you get to see all these parts of the UK or wherever you are. For me now at the moment, which has been Dartmoor. I'm back in North Wales now, but where I've seen loads of places in Dartmoor. I probably would expect that a lot of people haven't seen because they won't have known about them because it wasn't in the top 10 things to do in Dartmoor, you know, on Google kind of thing. So yes, Sean, each day is a new adventure. That's for everyone. Do you know what I mean? That's another thing. You know, everyone could make their life adventurous. I mean, I was always, that goes leads me on to something else really. I'm always, everywhere I go, I think, oh, this is so beautiful. This is one of the nicest places I've been to. Oh my God, look at this. This is so nice. This is my new favorite place. But what I'm realizing is that I'm just appreciating everywhere for its beauty. You know, everywhere's got its beauty. So I don't think anywhere is more beautiful than anywhere. I think everywhere has its own beauty. I even went to, you know, I've lived in one of the worst and had a house in one of the worst towns in Wales. And I went back to live there for a few months. And you know what? It's by the ocean. And it was absolutely, I found the beauty in it. Before, I was just kind of like, just seeing the bad in it. I was just seeing the bad in it. Just seeing the kind of, the, you know, all the scallywags running around and all that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit run down, you know, and I was just looking at all the horrible buildings and this, that, and the other, and I was just looking at all the bad stuff, and I wasn't really looking at the beauty. I didn't go down to the ocean. I didn't go and see the sunsets. I wasn't doing all of that kind of stuff, you know. And when I came back a good few years later, I just saw the beauty in it. I just started seeing the beauty of the ocean, the river that was there, even the people, even the vibe, even the quirkiness of the rundownness of it. I was seeing the kind of the beauty in that, and that's when I had my big kind of awakening to the beauty of life in a way on that aspect of things. You know, there's beauty everywhere. There's beauty everywhere, and so I don't think there's anywhere in the world. You know, you can take yourself to these tropical places, to these beautiful places half the way across the world, but then I can just be where I am now here. This is just as beautiful to me as anywhere I've been in the world. My little North Wales. Do you know what I mean? So you just you have to see the beauty in everything. You have to be open to seeing the beauty in everything. You know. See, I'm going off track now. I know I am, and that's why I did this little thing so that I can so that I can keep on track. Like, but anyway, yeah, lessons learned, loads of lessons learned from doing that. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to go, if you've got time, you know, and you want a different experience, do some help exchange, honestly. And it's such a good feeling because you know you're doing some good for other people as well. Like all the people I've been helping have been of elderly folk, so I know I'm doing things that they can't do for them. I'm really helping them. Do you know what I mean? So it's a really nice, good feeling. And you're only working pretty much 9 in the morning till say 2 in the afternoon. The rest of the days yourself, you know. And that's why I'm potentially continuing to going to be doing that for a while, maybe, because I want to find a couple where I can kind of go back to, and so that I can focus on my new ventures that I'm going to touch on in a minute on one of them. I've touched on the other one anyway, a website that I want to create, you know, that's also in the pipeline. So one sec, I'm just going to look at Sean's message. I'm a local yoke for touring doors in the South Coast of 12 decades. Spent here, Staffordshire, surrounding there, lots of places I can show you. Yes, mate. We'll have to go down, Sean. You'll have to take me. Hang on, where's my thing? There. You'll have to take me around some places. Maybe we should meet up there because I'm going to be basing myself down there, I think, for a little while. I'm potentially going to be. So I'll let you know when I'm down there. And if you can make it down there, mate, that'll be awesome. That would be awesome. So, yeah, it's going back. It's just a really, really nice feel, you know. You're doing something good, and then in your spare time, you get to see the local area. You get to explore. And in the UK, while I'm here, I have my car, so I can get about even more. When I was in New Zealand, I didn't have a car, but you know what? Some of the people there even borrowed me their car in their spare time and said, "Just use the car and nip off here." You know, amazing people that you will keep connections with. Like everyone, I'll keep in contact with every single one of them people I've stayed with because they're beautiful people, and I can go and stay with them again. I know I will. They've said, and I know I will because I like them and I like their animals and I love the vibe of the whole thing. It's amazing. It's an amazing experience. If you're a bit lost in life, if you don't know what to do, and you don't really like your job and you just don't like where you're living, or you're struggling with your bills and whatnot, this is honestly, it's a great alternative, because you can, like I said, in New Zealand, I did it for 6 months solid. Do you know what I mean? So you can live like that. There's people that are living like that. There are people that are living like that. They're just going from place to place to place, It is really amazing. But yeah, one thing, I've gone a bit dark now, not too dark. I'm going to try not to be too dark, but taking myself to all of these places as well, I've just been kind of like a bit of a fly on the wall, not just with the places I've been staying, but all the little towns and villages that I've been staying in, and just really taking a back seat and looking at how kind of cute and innocent the UK culture is. I've been very lucky with the weather down here, to be honest with you. So, for example, I've been sat kind of, say, down on a beach, and I've just been looking at everyone having fun and buying their ice creams and sitting in the bar next to the beach, getting their lovely food, and everyone's comfortable. Everyone's so comfortable, everything's just beautiful. Everyone's having a great time. Everyone's having a beautiful, beautiful time, But I don't know, there's a lot of things going on in the world that I think are happening, and I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's very difficult sometimes, kind of looking at all of these people having such a great time, so innocent, just loving life, really, really loving it and having a great time. And for me, I kind of know there's a darker side of things going on in the world, and it's a little bit difficult trying to it's very hard trying to ignore that. Not that I want to ignore it, because if you ignore it, then things can happen, but yeah, it's very strange. I believe our culture is going to change in the future. Basically, I'm not going to go into this too much in this YouTube live, because I want it to be I want it to be a good one. I want it to be all positive. But yeah, it's very, you can almost see the changes happening even in all these small little towns and villages. You can see the small little changes happening in these little pockets of the UK and stuff, and it's a little bit strange. It's a bit sad, because I can see our kind of culture changing a little bit. I know it's been happening in the bigger cities and the bigger towns for quite a while in the UK. I don't know if many of you kind of know what I'm talking about, but it's the UK culture seems to be changing. The UK culture seems to be changing, and it's happening fast now. It's happening really fast, and just seeing all of these really cute little towns and villages almost getting kind of sidetracked, and because we're so polite in the UK, we don't put up a fight about anything, or we won't say if we see any differences, or we just let it happen, and we're soft, and we're just like, we're not like the French who will fight. Us Brits were just like, oh, okay, yes, just make that change, it's okay, we'll just put up with it, it's fine, hello, sorry. Do you know what I mean? How many of us in the UK were just like, sorry? How many times do we say sorry in the day for just not being sorry sometimes? Do you know what I mean? But going off track a little bit, but yes, it kind of made me a little bit sad at the same time, because I can really see the changes in these little places, and a lot of people can't see these changes happening because they're so very minute. But when you take a back seat and you see all of these little things happening in the world, it's a little bit crazy. So that was quite, I was purposely trying to kind of avoid thinking about all of that. I was trying to think of the positive and really enjoy my time there, which I really, really was, obviously. But also at the same time, yeah, it was a little bit kind of disturbing seeing certain things, but that's it, man. That's kind of the end of my list. I didn't even finish my list because I was in such a rush tonight. I didn't even finish that. I just wanted to explain kind of where I've been, what the reason I've been absent, and yeah, about the help exchange thing. Basically, that was pretty much it, and to touch a little bit on how I'm seeing things change, because don't forget, folks, like, I do take myself around the world quite a lot, and I do see how different countries are compared to ours, and I do see how different our country is in different parts. Even though I see how different cultures are in different countries, like where I'm going to be going to on Sunday, which I'm going to tell you about in a few minutes, I also see how different it is in the UK, and even just in towns, and the city life and town life compared to country life in certain parts of the UK and the world in general, I guess, is so different. The people are so different. The way people are with each other are so different. The way people treat each other is so different. I'm not going to talk about that again too much because, you know, I don't want to kind of point fingers at anything, but it's just the country life is so relaxed. I'll just say that, you know, the country life is so relaxed, and they've got, you know, they're more kind of all about kind of growing food and eating organically and knowing where their foods come from and buying from the local butchers, buying from the local veg man, going to that little bakery where they know they make their little things fresh, you know, in the local, in back in the bay. It's all like that, you know. It's all very, oh, you've got potatoes, I've got some potatoes, I'll swap them for some carrots. That kind of vibe down there, really. In Dartmoor area, I felt like I went back in time a little bit, you know, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's a little bit harder lifestyle because you have to go to the shops more regularly. You have to think ahead a bit more, which is great for the brain because obviously, you know, it's keeping your brain active. Whereas I believe city life has made us very impatient. Everyone's in a rush. Everything's fast food. Everything's just there, which, you know, on the plus side of that, you can get food whenever you want in the city. Absolutely, you can just go somewhere where you can get anything you want on the, you know. But at the same time, this, what's in that food, you know, what are you eating? What are you eating? And I'm guilty of this. I eat food all over the place, you know. I eat food all over the place. I try different things all the time. But I'm just saying, people from the country, not everyone, but a lot of the ones, especially the older generation as well, they generally look after themselves very well, you know, and they know where their foods are coming from, and they make their own foods. They make their own jams, they make their own breads, they make their own cheeses, some of them, like I was telling you about that woman I stayed with. Very interesting when you can see the differences in even certain parts of the UK, you know, like the village I'm from here, like my girlfriend, she's from Mexico City originally. That's where she's from, born and bred kind of thing. And I've been there a few times, and it's crazy, crazy big. I think it's one of the biggest cities in the world anyway. So I've been there for like a 2 week trip, or we've been on a road trip, but I've ended up in Mexico City, say, for the last few days, in the hecticness of it. Yeah, you know, like really busy, really full on, food everywhere, music everywhere. There's never a silence. There's never a silence. There's never that. There's never that. You know, so I go from that, and then I come back to the little village here in North Wales where it's silent. There's food nowhere really, hardly anywhere apart from like here or there, down there. We have to go down the valley. You know, after 5 p.m., everything's shut, kind of thing. It's very culture shocky, you know, and the culture shock is coming home sometimes. The culture shock isn't actually going away. Sometimes to me, it's coming back. And that's like when I go to Africa, when I've been on my trips to Africa, you know, the culture shock obviously going there is massive. It's huge. Do you know what I mean? Especially the first time I went, was like, what? This is crazy. On my own, especially. I've got a great short story I could do about my first 24 hours in Kenya, actually. Absolutely pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Should have put me off going to Africa for life, to be honest with you. But it just kind of, after it happened, I was like, oh my days, man, what, that was a bit of an experience. But that, yeah, I've written quite a bit about that one. That could be my first story. That could be my first story. So, well, I've taken myself off track now. Where was I going? I've totally gone off track. Yes, the culture shock thing. So when you know, after being a few weeks in Africa, when I came back, the culture shock for me was massive coming back, seeing how unhappy people were given the things that they had. You know, I've just been in a country that was total poverty ridden. When I go to places like Africa and places like that, I don't generally live a life of luxury. I put myself in their shoes pretty much, and I try to live as humble as possible and live the way they live. You know, because that's what I like to do when I'm there, to experience their lifestyle, not just kind of go and pry on them and see them and then go back to my 5-star hotel. No, that's not the way I do it. You know, I like to really immerse myself. So it's coming back to the UK has been a struggle for me sometimes, because I realize how unappreciative some people are of what they've got. And I think it's just our culture. I don't think it's even them. I think it's our culture of just, we're so used to having everything, whenever sometimes we're just not grateful. That's the word. We're not grateful for the things we have, you know? And I just think that's where travel comes in really, really good for life experience and
to get a good gauge on the world and to gauge how lucky you are, or understand the gratitude, basically, to be grateful for everything you've got. Like, I don't need anything, really, hardly anything. I've hardly got anything right now. As you all know, I've kind of sold my house. I've quit my job right now to focus on other things, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And I've got my car here. I've got a bag full of stuff. I've got some stuff stored away. But I and that's a very humble way to live, and it's quite nice living like that, because you don't have all of these extra things to worry about. It can be quite good on that side of things. But when you take yourself away and you see how other people live and what they survive on, and especially I'm using Africa as an example because it's a great example, because the majority of them out there are just so happy with nothing. All I need today is, yes, hello Richie, hi mate. You're absolutely spot on, mate. All I need today is today. And that's very true. Live for today. And that's what I've been doing the last kind of 3 or 4 weeks in Dartmoor, just living for today, enjoying what I'm doing, not thinking about posting and blah, blah, blah. I have been doing Instagram stories. Don't get me wrong. I have been posting little bits here and there, but not thinking I need to do it, or, because when you've got a YouTube channel and you're trying to do stuff all the time, and you're having to make videos, and you're having to keep people, you're having to, social media and YouTube, you have to keep people engaged, and people have got short attention spans, so if you disappear for a while, they forget about you, and so you have to keep going. It's quite demanding, do you know what I mean? And it can get, I've seen other YouTubers do videos on this where they've had burnouts and that, because they're just trying to keep up with the algorithms of YouTube, the demanding YouTube, it's very demanding. So carpet DM, yes Sean, carpet DM. I understand what you're saying, mate. Carpe diem. But yes, so coming back can be a little bit frustrating. Do you know what I mean? So that, I think that's why where I get my gratitude from putting myself through these experiences. So going back to the travel thing of, people say travel changes you, and people kind of make fun of people that say travel changed me. I think it can change you in certain ways, if only in ways, not your personality, but the way you see the world and life experience, and it just helps you in life, seeing how other people live and how grateful you should be for what you've got, and all of that, So I've learned a lot of that from the people I've met, from the people I still connect with. I've only got about 10 minutes left on this, I think. I'm sure I can only do an hour. So I've got 7 minutes, so I need to be a bit fast. I think I have, so I'm gonna cut it at an hour, so I'll be gone in about 7 minutes. So I need to crack on, I guess. But basically, as we're talking about Africa, yeah, the whole culture shock thing. If you can take yourself to a country where you can culture shock yourself, because really it is such a great experience, man, and you'll want to do it again. I'm telling you, and you'll probably want to help some people as well. It's really good for the soul. So, anyways, on Sunday, I'm going back to Africa, folks. I'm going back to Africa. Unfortunately, it's a solo trip. I would like my partner to come with me, but she's unable to. She's going to France with her family. And I'm going to Africa. Africa. Now, can you guess where in Africa I am going? There's no chances there. Why would you have any idea of where I'm going to go? Well, folks, I went to Senegal about 7 years ago, and I met a lovely young guy there, good friend now, called Omar. Omar, if you ever see this, or if you're watching now, all right, mate. See you on Sunday or early Monday morning when I land. I met him in Senegal. He's a surfing instructor there, but he's from the Gambia, which I don't know if you know where the Gambia is. If you want to get on Google, see if I had the thing now, I could show you. I could be showing you where it is and everything. Do you know what I mean? So, but if you go on Google Maps, type in the Gambia. I'm not saying you're all silly and you don't know where it is, but some people might not. So it's almost engulfed by Senegal, basically. He's from there, but he kind of goes to Senegal to make good money. He's from a poor family. He goes there to make a bit of money and then goes home and supports his family. And he's a lifeguard in the Gambia and all of this, So him and I have got a potential business venture that's going to be happening in the near future. So the trip I'm taking is not just for culture and travel purposes. It's also for business purposes as well. It's for me to go and check it out, to go and have a good chat with Omar, about the idea we have. I'm not going to go into it too much right now. I'm not going to go into it too much because I will reveal it soon, because, you know, potentially it's not going to happen, but I think it is going to happen. And that's why I'm going there. Obviously, I'm pretty keen because I'm going over there. Really want to set him up with a nice business over there. Really want to set up myself up with something that I'm helping someone with, you know. And it's also going to be good for his country, what we're doing. It's also going to open up some great doors for the younger generation there, well, and the elder generation. He's really excited because he's going to be able to help his communities, his people, and it's going to be the first time anyone's ever done this in the Gambia. So it's a first. It's potentially going to be big. Let's see. Everyone I've talked to it about, thinks it's going to be a winner. I really hope it will. It's his idea. It's all his idea. He just needs a business partner. I've got also ideas to bring into it, and going to be doing my part of the business. Of course, that's my role. So I'm going to be kind of like silent partner-ish, I guess. He's got the business model there. He knows how it works. He's going to tell me all about it when I'm there. And so if you want to keep up with me in Africa, in Gambia, I'm not going to be on YouTube, unfortunately. For the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm probably not going to be posting again on here. I need to tell you now, I'm not going to be, because I'm not going to have time to edit. I'm going to be over there. So if you want to keep up with me, keep up to date with me, get on Instagram and just check out my Instagram stories, because that's pretty much where I'm posting just things, because I like it. I think it's quite fun. I can leave little comments, and you can just see where I'm at, and just little quirky little videos and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I'll post little things on my Facebook page and my Instagram as well. I'll try and post like proper posts as well, but it's mainly going to be Instagram stories over there. And you can see if you're really interested in seeing some behind the scenes stuff in Africa, like how they live and all that kind of stuff, then really seriously tune in, because I'm pretty sure my friend's going to be happy with me filming around his little place and how he lives life and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So thanks, Pam. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, it is interesting, mate. I'm definitely, once I get back, I'll know more about it and everything, and I'll probably do another live and reveal a bit more and have a bit more of a chat. So I think I'm quite enjoying doing this chat, actually. I think I'm going to continue doing these. It's quite a nice way of keeping in touch with you guys. And if I do slip up with videos or whatever, I can just pop on and I can just chat with you and just explain. Because sometimes you can't keep up with the algorithms of YouTube. It's too demanding, and then it stops becoming fun. You know, it really stops becoming fun, and that's what I don't want it to be. I started it to be fun. I don't want to make money out of it. I'm not bothered by making money and stuff. You know, it's weird. I just enjoy showing you guys where I go and what I get up to, so that you guys can potentially go to these places as well. And I know I've given quite a few people in the past some good ideas. So if I can give one person some inspiration to go somewhere, then that's my job done. Sorted. Let's have a look at these messages before I have to go. Oh, cheers, Sandy. That's a very nice thing to say. Well, I should continue doing these lives, I think, you know. We've got a whole 7 people on. Woohoo! But it will stay on my page, so people can go back on this and things like that. I've got more likes than I have got viewers. That's strange, isn't it? I've got 12 likes. Anyways, but I'm on my last minute and a half here. So anyways, folks, thank you so much. If you stayed till the end, bloody, I salute you for listening to me waffling on. So yes, really enjoyed doing this. And thank you so much, Sandy, Pam, Richie, Sean. Who else have I missed in the chat? I know there was someone else. Johnny B, the drone detector, if you're still there. James, thank you so much for joining me on my first YouTube live. I'll be a bit more prepared next time. I just did this pop-up one just to see how it went, you know, and it's all gone quite well, I think. So thanks, Pam. But yeah, I mean, the next one, maybe I'll talk about a little travel tale or something, you know. And but I think, to be honest with you, that the next one will be when I get back from the Gambia, or I might do one in the Gambia. If I can get good Wi-Fi, I'll do one there. Okay, if I can. That is. It might be on my phone, that though. It might have to be on my phone, not on my laptop like this, because I won't have all of this gear. I've got a little microphone and everything, you see. But I don't want to have to travel with all that stuff. So anyway, folks, coming to an end now. Thank you so much once again. Get onto my Instagram if you really want to keep up with me in the next few weeks. Just get on the Instagram. I'll try and post normal posts as well. But Instagram stories is the way forward for me at the minute. They're just so easy to do. I can just take little videos of what I'm doing and just post them, put a little thing on it, and you can keep up to date with me, you know. But yeah, really, I apologize once again for not posting any videos on here, but I just needed a little break, and I hope you can, yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, yeah, accept that, you know, and I'm grateful that you're still here, all of you guys. Anyways, I'm going to have to go. I'm waffling. I'm on 10 seconds left. So thank you very much, folks. Adios. Until the next time. Peace.